The biggest governmental heist in American history. From common law to corporate control, and what we can do about it. By now most of you know, everything you have been told is a lie. If not, what if I told you everything you were taught about freedom in America was a carefully constructed illusion? What if the people they called crazy, the ones they ridiculed, dismissed, and locked away, were actually holding documented truth in their hands the entire time? I want to introduce you to something that has been buried under 250 years of legal restructuring, financial manipulation, and deliberate miseducation. The story of how a corporate control structure quietly replaced the republic your ancestors bled to build. Those sovereign nationalists? They were reading the same documents that sat in congressional records, legal archives, and historical libraries, documents that traced exactly how your sovereignty was taken, renamed, repackaged, and sold back to you as freedom. They had the evidence before the lies hardened into textbooks. Before the restructuring became invisible. Before most people stopped asking the questions that made the powerful uncomfortable. Now here is what I need you to understand. To fully grasp what was taken from us, we must first understand what existed before. Before the corporate framework. Before the admiralty courts. Before the all-caps legal fiction they created in your name the day you entered this world. Chapter 1. The Founding Promise. In 1776, a group of men put their names on a document that changed the trajectory of human history. They wrote these words. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Unalienable. That word carries everything. It means these rights came from your Creator, not from any government, not from any corporation, not from any institution built by men. No act of Congress can remove them. No court restructuring can dissolve them. No corporate framework can own them. They belong to you permanently, completely, and without condition. However, with the exception of one, do no harm, which is known as common law. We will get back to that. Thomas Jefferson's original draft went even further. His rough draft used the word preservation. The preservation of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And George Mason's Virginia Declaration of Rights, the document that directly influenced Jefferson, connected happiness explicitly to property ownership and safety. Two things systematically denied to Black Americans through every legal restructuring that followed. The founding promise was clear. Sovereign human beings. Creator-given rights. A government that served the people, not the other way around. So what happened? Chapter 2. The law they replaced. Before the corporate restructuring. Before the admiralty courts. Before the all-caps legal fiction they stamped on your birth certificate the day you entered this world. There was common law. And common law rested on a foundation so simple, so profoundly human, that any child could understand it. Do noir. That was the law. Do no harm to another person's body. Do no harm to another person's property. Do no harm to another person's freedom. If you caused no harm, no court held jurisdiction over your life. No government could touch you. No institution could claim authority over your choices, your labor, your land, or your sovereignty. No victim. No crime. That simple. 4 words built an entire legal philosophy that recognized every human being as sovereign, accountable only when their actions brought genuine harm to another living person. Now look at what replaced it. A system that imprisons people for carrying a plant. A system that seizes your property before proving any crime occurred. A system that surveils your communications without your knowledge or consent. A system that criminalizes poverty, homelessness, and the simple act of surviving without sufficient resources. Measure every single one of those actions against 4 words. Do noir. Now tell me which side of that line the current system stands on. Chapter 3. The Heist. Now we walk through the documented evidence. Step by step. Act by act. Decision by decision. 1871. Congress passes the District of Columbia Organic Act of 1871. This single act restructures the United States government as a municipal corporation, the United States corporation operating under commercial law, rather than constitutional common law. The republic the founders established transforms into a corporate entity, and every citizen inside it transforms from a sovereign human being into a corporate asset identified, numbered, and catalogued from birth. 1913. Two monumental shifts occur in the same year. The Federal Reserve Act hands control of the American money supply to a private banking consortium no longer accountable to Congress, no longer accountable to the people. And the 16th Amendment establishes the federal income tax, creating a permanent claim on the labor of every American citizen. Your work, your time, your energy, now legally obligated to a private banking system operating behind the seal of a government institution. 1933. America goes off the gold standard. The dollar, once backed by something tangible, something real, becomes a Federal Reserve note. A note. A debt instrument. Meaning every dollar in circulation represents money borrowed into existence with interest attached from the moment it enters the system. The 13th Amendment, the exception clause. 6 words buried inside the amendment that claim to abolish slavery. Except as a punishment for crime whereof the party shall have been duly convicted. 6 words that kept slavery alive inside the prison system. 6 words that created the legal framework for the largest forced labor system in the industrialized world. A system that imprisons Black Americans at 5 times the rate of white Americans. A system that generates billions in annual profit from that labor. And a senior White House official admitted on record that the war on drugs, the primary engine feeding that prison system, was deliberately designed to criminalize Black communities and disrupt political opposition. Their words. Their admission. Documented. Civil asset forfeiture. Law enforcement agencies across America hold legal authority to seize your property, your car, your cash, your home without charging you with any crime. Without conviction. Without trial. Without proof. The burden falls on you to prove your innocence, to recover what they took. Common law demanded proof of harm before any government action. The current system demands you prove you caused no harm after they already took everything. Corporate personhood. The Supreme Court decision in Citizens United granted corporations the same constitutional rights as living human beings. A corporation, a legal fiction. A piece of paper, now holds the same First Amendment protections as the sovereign human being common law was built to protect. And that corporation spends unlimited money influencing the political process that governs your life. Chapter 4. Who controls it now? Once you understand the legal restructuring, the next question answers itself. Who benefits? 3 private investment firms simultaneously hold controlling ownership stakes in virtually every major bank, media company, pharmaceutical corporation, and defense contractor in America. Vanguard, BlackRock, State Street. Every dollar you earn, they touch it. By taxing it. Every product you buy, they own the company that made it. Every hospital you enter, every pill you swallow, every news channel you watch, they own it. That is why family-owned businesses are their enemy. That is why any business operating outside their network becomes their target. And they move deliberately and systematically to destroy what they cannot control. Your neighborhood store, your community bank, your independent media, your cooperative, your sovereign economic institution. All of it threatens the closed loop they built to make sure every dollar you spend finds its way back into their hands. And the gold fringe on the flag inside every federal courtroom? That fringe legally designates admiralty and commercial jurisdiction, a completely different legal framework from the constitutional common law courts the founders established. You walk into that courtroom as a sovereign human being. The court treats you as a corporate entity operating under commercial law. Your birth certificate carries the same identification number system used to register financial securities traded on markets. From the day you entered this world, the system registered you, cataloged you, assigned you a number, and began treating your labor, your productivity, and your lifetime earning potential as a financial asset on their balance sheet. Chapter 5. What can we do about it? Now here is where the documentary shifts. Because knowledge without application produces frustration, and frustration without direction produces nothing. Communities across America right now are using their own law, honoring the real law. building collective power that makes the control system irrelevant. They are establishing land trusts, removing property from the commercial system entirely, and placing it under collective community ownership that no corporation can seize through tax default or predatory lending. They are building cooperative economic structures, credit unions, buying cooperatives, community development financial institutions that circulate dollars inside the community before they flow out. They are recording common law documents, affidavits of sovereignty, UCC filings, and declarations of status that establish their standing as living human beings operating under natural law rather than corporate commercial code. They are building independent media platforms, podcasts, documentaries exactly like this one that carry truth directly to the people without passing through the filter of a system designed to suppress it. They are doing what the founders claimed they did, declaring their sovereignty, standing on creator-given rights, and building the institutions that make that declaration real in daily life. In closing, the Declaration of Independence told you the truth in 1776. Your rights come from your creator. They are unalienable. No government gave them to you. No corporation owns them. No legal restructuring dissolved them. They were buried, obscured, replaced with a system designed to make you forget they ever existed. The sovereign nationalists were reading documents that told a story the powerful needed you to never hear. And now you have heard it. For words built the law this nation was supposed to honor. Do no harm. Measure everything they have done against those 4 words. Then decide what you owe a system that broke its own law from the very beginning. And here is what the Declaration of Independence also told you. Section 2. That whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or abolish it. Not as rebellion, not as violence, as a legal right, written into the founding document itself. The people hold the authority to withdraw consent, to stop participating in systems that operate against their sovereign interests, to build parallel structures, parallel economies, parallel courts, parallel institutions that render the corrupt system irrelevant through collective withdrawal. You do not need their permission to stop feeding what harms you. You do not need their courts to establish your sovereignty. You do not need their currency to build community wealth. Withdraw, build, understand. That is the sovereign path forward. Your sovereignty was never taken. It was hidden. And now you know exactly where to find it. Study this. Share this. Build with this. Because the truth is documented. The evidence is real. And your sovereignty is worth every single thing it costs to reclaim it. Did you also know the 13th Amendment that abolished slavery contains a single exception clause, 6 words, that preserved slavery as legal punishment for criminal conviction? Did you know 3 private investment firms, Vanguard, BlackRock, and State Street, simultaneously hold controlling ownership stakes in virtually every major bank, media company, pharmaceutical corporation, and defense contractor in America? Every dollar you earn, they touch it. Every product you buy, they own the company that made it. Every hospital you enter, every pill you swallow, every news channel you watch, they own it. That is why family-owned businesses are their enemy. That is why any business operating outside their network becomes their target, and they move deliberately and systematically to destroy what they cannot control. Your neighborhood store, your community bank, your independent media, your cooperative, your sovereign economic institution. All of it threatens the closed loop they built to make sure every dollar you spend finds its way back into their hands. Did you know the gold fringe on the flag inside every federal courtroom legally designates admiralty and commercial jurisdiction, a completely different legal framework from the constitutional common law courts the founders established? Did you know your birth certificate carries the same identification number system used to register financial securities traded on markets? Did you know a senior White House official admitted on record that the war on drugs was deliberately designed to criminalize Black communities and disrupt political opposition? Now you know. And knowing changes everything. Come back for more. Or click the link in bio right now and watch the full documentary. The truth is documented. The evidence is real. And your sovereignty is worth fighting for. Part 2 is coming. And in Part 2 we go into the Federalist Papers. We walk through the documented fraud. We name the treason. And we build the full legal case from their own words and their own records. Share this now with every person who deserves to know what happened to them. Subscribe so part 2 reaches you the moment it lands. Because the fraud is documented, the treason is provable, and the American people deserve every single word of it.